right, excellent, wonderful, happy afternoon, everybody. Happy Manitoba Day. I am Stephen Chakota. I'm the Executive Director for the Dauphin District Chamber of Commerce, and there we go, got the little title up there. Wonderful. This is our annual State of the City address, and I really hope that this goes really nice and smoothly because we have never done anything like this to this scale. And we should have been all together. It's very unfortunate that we can't, but the ultimate name of the game is that everybody's safe and doing well out there. So we're going to bring State of the City to you guys and not make everyone come together in a tight little room and practice our social distancing. And here it is, so our annual State of the City address. And I hope everyone's having a nice lunch. Would have been nice to have it all catered like we typically do with, and then this year was Cafe Trocadero as our caterer, and yeah, it would have been a great meal, but you know, we'll take it, take what we can get. So here we are. If anybody's got little pictures of what they want to share, what they're having for lunch, or comment in this on the event page here, just share what everybody's eating. That'd be so cool. Really looking forward to it. I can't eat at the moment. I've got a lot of buttons and things here to click, so I'll grab something after this. But we've got a really fun and interesting day for everybody, so I hope this is going to work out well. What I'm going to do, and let's see, here we go. I've got some questions I want to ask everybody that comes into this room, so I'm just gonna launch right into the first one. And what's happening is that we're going to be looking at doing some more sessions like this online, probably a little more closed door with Zoom and stuff, and just try to continue our kind of lunch and breakfast series sessions like we usually do, and want to gauge a little bit of what's the best time for everyone, because we can offer kind of almost anything. And so what you're going to see on your computer right now or on your phone, wherever you're watching, is a little poll. So just click on whatever kind of time works best. If none of these options work great, reach out to me. Let me know what works best for you guys. So I'm just going to leave that up there for a little bit and get a couple of votes. The first session that we're going to be looking at doing right away is going to be on May 28th, and we're going to be bringing back Ben Dewick. He delivered a presentation a couple weeks ago on leadership in times of crisis, and it was a fantastic event. We had quite a few in the room with us, and we had such positive response to his presentation and Ben himself. It was great content, and he's a really great speaker, and we need to bring him back again and get that session to you guys in the Parkland, and as many more as we can. So we're bringing him back. He's going to be joining us on May 28th, and what we're going to do with that one is actually we're going to add a little ticket price to it, and for these future sessions we're going to look at possibly doing some more of this ticket value stuff. But what we're going to end up doing is $10 will go directly back to the people that register in the form of chamber bucks. So a little way of injecting some more local spending, if you will. So that's coming up May 28th. So once I have a little more information of that, you guys can register. I'm going to throw up another poll right away. So go ahead and click on whatever shows up on your screen now. And what I'm asking is if let's see here. Did it not change? I want to find out more on what are the types of sessions you guys would like to see. So if it's showing up on your screen, I'd like to know if you want to see some more marketing stuff, if you want to learn some more about, you're having some issues with legal or labor stuff during COVID. But yeah, give those a click. Let us know what's going on in your world, what you'd like to see more from us, and go from there. Well, you know what? I just found a feature that lets people vote after this video goes That's super cool. Well, you're learning something new on the fly and learn something new every day. That's excellent. A lot of fun. Okay, so I'm going to just roll things along here. Got a really cool video I want to share with you guys from Love and Pearson Group. They are today's lunch leaders, and they have been around for the whole entire season and would have been, there up front and center at our event today. But next best thing, we've got a video to play for you guys. So sit back, enjoy. We've got a couple minutes here for them.
Good afternoon. My name is Melissa McCory, partner and advisor at Love and Pearson Group. Love and Pearson Group has been serving the Parkland area for 64 years. LPG's roots run deep, going back to 1956, when the late Ernest L. Love opened his one-man agency. Then later, in 1965, Love Insurance Agency amalgamated with Pearson Insurance, creating a partnership that flourished over the years. Today, Love and Pearson Group is built on the strengths and experience of 7 active partners. Backed by a solid team of dedicated and knowledgeable professionals, LPG is committed to working with honesty and integrity, assisting our clients to meet their goals and objectives by always putting their needs first. Love and Pearson Group is comprised of 3 distinct divisions with offices in Dauphin and Grandview. Welcome to our financial division, made up of 5 advisors and 5 dedicated admin support staff. Each with different designations, our advisors are able to offer a full range of financial planning services as well as insurance and investment solutions. Welcome to our General Insurance and Autopack division, made up of 10 licensed brokers in our Dauphin office and 2 licensed brokers in our Grandview office. Let Love and Pearson Group's professionals guide you through the insurance process and provide a working understanding of your coverage. Whether you prefer to sit down with one of our brokers in our office or have us come to you, rest assured we will assess your specific insurance needs and provide you with the best protection possible. The recent pandemic has changed the way we do business. Our business has been deemed an essential service. Currently in our Dauphin office, the General Insurance and Autopack division are allowing 1 client in at a time. An enclosed workstation has been created for the safety and protection of our staff and clients, allowing us to keep our doors open with uninterrupted service. Although our financial team is not meeting with clients face-to-face, we are actively setting up conference calls. The financial division is fully functional to complete any transactions, whether it is through the use of technology or prepping the paperwork for clients to stop in and sign using the safe workstation. As a way to support fellow business owners, LPG has reached out to some businesses that were forced to shut their doors by purchasing gift cards as a way to support them through this time. Local businesses supporting local businesses. From our family to yours, stay safe. We're all in this together.
All right, cool. Thanks, LPG. Really appreciate the partnership and working with us this season. And hopefully everything's going well with you guys. It's great that you got your office set up like that, and seeing a few other members out there and other businesses around in the Parkland with something similar to help protect their staff and to also help protect their customers and clients. So good stuff. I'm going to keep things rolling here. We've got Chuck Davidson with Manitoba Chamber of Commerce just sitting in the waiting room at the moment. But first, we are going to rock and roll with a very wonderful presentation from Why We're All Here, Mayor Al Dauphin bringing us the annual State of the City address. So I'm going to bring that up for you guys right now.
Welcome to the virtual audience, Dauphin and District Chamber of Commerce members, Rotary members, Dauphin Press, Herald and CKDM, and any other interested parties to the 2020 State of the City. Thank you. Dauphin and Chamber of Commerce for hosting the State of the City and the lobbying on behalf of the business community. The budget process began in November 2019 with capital projects identified for costing. Mayor and Council instructed administration to develop a financial plan with a zero tax increase. It became more of a challenge with two events in early 2020. Black Friday, January 24th, 2020, with the closing of the Dauphin jail and loss of 90 jobs, and COVID-19, paralyzing the country, causing community angst, and forcing many events to be postponed. Country Fest, Fair, Canada's National Ukrainian Festival, and the 2020 Summer Games, and many more community events, all have been postponed to 2021. Despite these challenges, Mayor, Council, and City staff are pleased to announce a zero municipal tax increase for 2020 with no cuts in city services, no staff layoffs, and over $1 million in infrastructure projects. The new normal, with changes happening daily, if not hourly, present many challenges for stewardship of city operations, and these challenges are addressed by an exceptional council and city staff. We accomplished the challenge by working cooperatively. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the best. I'd like to present the 2018-2022 City Council. On your left is Deputy Mayor Kerry Riel. The tall guy is Blue Bombers #1 fan, Councillor Rodney Juba, Councillor Kathy Bellemare, Councillor Devin Stakilo, Dauphin Kings Manager of Public Events, Councillor Christian Laughlin. The big guy with all dressed in black is myself, Mayor Al Dohan, Councillor Patty Eilers, and Cameron Thompson is our Youth Council representative. This is the second year, and it's a great addition to our council. Wow. Thank you, Dauphin Derailers, for your commitment to building a world-class mountain bike facility and an experiential tourism destination for our area and a facility for all to experience. This is a slide of our 22 kilometers of the Northgate Dauphin Trail System. It's multi-use trails and can be seen on Facebook and the website northgatetrails.com. And also pick up a copy of our visitor's guide. It shows the trail there. What is the city doing for ratepayers because of COVID-19? Hold the line on the 2020 budget, delay property tax due date to September 30th, delay first quarter utility billings to June 15th, and the Crisis Prevention Task Force new grant funding for 2020. In addition, we used our 3D printer to manufacture ear protectors for Prairie Mountain Health staff. This presentation will concentrate on 3 areas: financial stability, sustainability, and community growth. In 2018, we established goals for the 2018-2022 term of Dauphin City Council. The water supply and public safety goals have been met. Other areas have been met, with other areas are being researched or developed. A progress report will be on the City Dauphin website by the end of June. In the current economic situation, hope is always at the top of our mind. Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness, by Desmond Tutu. Financial stability. In this slide, it shows that Dauphin has the lowest mill rate comparing to Swan River, Neepawa, and Portage. Total municipal taxes collected in 2011 was $6,475,860, and in 2020 it was $6,449,919. Considering the time value of money, inflation, growth, and solid financial stewardship, this slide is amazing. And it is amazing, and we wish higher levels of government would follow our example. To maintain and improve our roads and sidewalks, Council for the last couple of years established a benchmark of $1 million, and the benchmark has been met this year. This slide shows the total capital which we plan to invest in our community in 2020. The roads and sidewalks capital, building upgrades, environmental projects, public works machinery, fire department capital, recreation capital, other general capital, water and sewer line capital, and other water and sewer capital upgrades, for a total of $4,890,124. This year, to maintain our benchmark of $1 million for roads, sidewalks, and 1 year operating reserves, and a zero tax increase, our reserve dropped to $8.5 million, which is still above average for the size of our community. Our general fund debt is at only $30,000, and that's for the industrial park, which is this amount, $30,000, is the envy of comparable communities in our province. The utility fund debt, which is paid by water and sewer revenue, is at $828,000, and that's fire hydrants, the industrial park, the Brown Avenue and aqueduct were installed, and is also the envy of comparable communities in our province. Sustainability. In celebration of Manitoba's 150th anniversary, the City of Dauphin will be giving away 190 trees of 13 different types for city residents to plant in their yards. Trees were assigned on a first-come, first-served basis once residents filled out a form and submitted to City Hall, and will be available for pickup next week on May 14th and 15th at the Dauphin Rec Services sale barns between 9 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. I am a strong supporter of tree planting initiatives and ask when receiving a tree, please read the information handed out to ensure proper spacing, water recommendations, and other needs for your tree. We lost 111 trees over the winter due to Dutch elm disease removal program. The elm trees included in this giveaway are Dutch elm disease resistant. Thank you to our residents for participating in the program and adding to our urban forestry. And waste management has been a successful program in our community. There's steady volumes in recycling, little growth in yard waste, and decrease in regular garbage. Compost site will be built this year at our landfill site. The waste diversion centre that is proposed for the landfill site was an idea started a couple years ago by a visit by myself and the Director of Operations, Bill Brenner, to the Brady landfill site in Winnipeg. It will be constructed this year to reduce, renew, reuse, recycle more, and recovery to the compost site, and actually will reduce stuff or garbage that will be going to the landfill site. It's an exciting project, and more details will be coming to all taxpayers in the latter part of this year. A new program that we've initiated is the Asset Management Program. It's the recording, valuing, and condition of our city assets, roads, sidewalks, sewer lines, buildings, and otherwise everything. A software program has been purchased. The data will be inputted this year, and 3 employees are trained in the program and also in asset management. It monitors a condition and a need for repair and replacement, and is a condition for getting our gas tax revenue. The city has 2 solar installations. One is at the lift station number 1 in the northeast section of the city, and the city shops, which was just completed early this year. This slide shows the results of using solar panels at our lift station number 1. It shows that we saved $6,000 in electricity costs, and it's a projected payout of 10 years. Community growth. Welcoming newcomers through Regional Connections Immigrant Services, 237 individuals accessed settlement services, English classes, or community connection events. 26% accessing services were from the Philippines, 17 were from India, 57% were from a diverse range of countries including Nicaragua, Brazil, Serbia, China, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Pakistan, and the Ukraine. 40 people participated in skating lessons with the Parkland Rangers volunteer to help. 87 people attended the annual holiday potluck party. Vermillion Growers project is progressing in 2020. There's more exciting news on this project in the near future. It's all good news. The South End development is progressing with the near completion of the Best Western Hotel and interest in the remainder of the project land. And progress is being made on the service road. Connect with us. Follow us on social media for news and updates about all things Dauphin, and use hashtag DauphinMB to share your perspective. On Facebook, City of Dauphin, on Instagram at City of Dauphin, and Twitter at City of Dauphin. Also, you can connect by registering in our emergency alert system, AllNet Connect, by calling City Hall at 204-622-3200 or visiting the City of Dauphin website. Definitely, we are facing challenging times. The times, they are a-changing. Bob Dylan. Thank you for attending the 2020 Virtual State of the City Address. If you need more information on this presentation or the financial plan, please call me at City Hall at 204-622-3230 or email mayor@dauphin.ca or contact City Manager Charlotte Griffiths at 204-622-3213 or email her at cm@dauphin.ca. Thank you for your patience as we face these new challenges. We're in this together.
Got a little extra there. Thanks, Al. Really appreciate that and the message that you were able to share. There's some interesting stuff there, and a really cool video from the derailers there. That looks great, and can't wait to go check that out, and everyone can go see the see that whole system up there. It looks great, and also saw a post the other day that they're continuing that development, so interesting stuff. And so if anybody is kind of tuning in a little late, this is live on Facebook. Hopefully it posts properly. Also having it recorded as well, so if you need to refresh yourself on some of that information, we're going to have that hopefully to you soon, shortly, or hopefully to you shortly after this, and up on Facebook here. So we also had an awesome guest appearance we're going to have dropping in right away. I'm going to introduce Chuck Davidson from the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce. Him and his team have been an integral part in helping myself and other local chambers and the rest of the businesses in Manitoba, and he's got some messages that he wants to share from their perspective and their side of things. So we'll see if Chuck is ready here. There we go. There's the man. We got him on mute right now. Whenever you're ready. Can I unmute you? Maybe I should just unmute you.
There you go.
Oh, there it is. Excellent. Cool.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Chuck. How's things?
How are you?
Good, yeah?
Good. Good.
Zoom lag. Awesome. Classic. So we just got off a call this morning. We've been having those weekly chats, and really appreciate that to keep us informed on what you guys are doing, and from the provincial chamber side of things, and then us obviously feeding you guys the information for kind of boots on the ground here. But now we're over here and hanging out at the State of the City address. So thanks for joining today.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just maybe disappear here, and I'll let you take things over, and maybe we'll have a little chat after that. Sound good?
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you to the Dauphin Chamber, obviously on this Manitoba Day, celebrating Manitoba's 150th anniversary. Just to kind of give you a sense as to, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk to the Dauphin Chamber on this important day with your State of the City address, and talk a little bit about some of the things that the Chamber has been working on, specifically the Manitoba Chamber of Commerce, and sort of our role in this new pandemic world that we're living in right now. So, and really talk a little bit as well about the importance of the entire Chamber network in Manitoba and across Canada, and some of the work that we're doing. So So really the work that we see as the role of the Chamber Network in the situation in the most recent couple of months is really about helping to provide businesses throughout Manitoba and in communities with information on the different programs that exist that are being brought together by both the provincial and the federal government, and how businesses can apply on those programs. So one of the things that we've done at the Manitoba Chamber of Commerce is on our site, jointhechamber.ca, what we've done is we have a listing of all of the variety of different programs that exist and how you can access them. We've got things like pandemic planning toolkits, because one of the things that we've clearly understood as a result of the pandemic and the COVID-19 is a lot of businesses weren't prepared for this. And putting in place information that we think can help these businesses to kind of get through this and to put in place some plans that they can recover quicker. And so those are some of the things that we're really focused on, is really about, providing those local chambers as well with good information that we can share. And I know Stephen does an awesome job in Dauphin in terms of doing that as well. But in terms of some of the things that we're looking at is, upgrades and putting information on our website. We've done video conferences with both provincial and federal ministers so that a lot of our members have the ability to get information directly from or ask questions specifically to. And I think that's important. So what we're really trying to do is make sure that if there's a business in Manitoba that has some questions in regards to any aspect of the COVID-19 pandemic, that they can come to the Chamber Network, and we'll do everything that we can to provide some solutions for you and to provide that guidance that you need to answer your questions during these difficult times. The second role that the Chamber Network plays is really in regards to the advocacy, and I think it's never been more apparent about the importance of that Chamber Network than through what we're currently experiencing. And to give you a good example of what that looks like is that when the federal government is putting down programs, and initially, and it seems like eons ago, but when they first initially outlined what they were doing for a wage subsidy program for business, they'd capped it at 10%, and that was the amount that they were going to initially look at being able to reimburse businesses that were being forced to lay off people through their wage subsidy program. It was really through the advocacy of the Chamber Network, who indicated and communicated that directly to the federal government that the 10% subsidy was not going to work. In fact, the reality was most businesses were not going to take advantage of it. It simply wasn't going to be economical enough. And so what we've done is we've gone back to the federal government, and they've increased that 10% to 75%. And so that's a program that as recently as about a week and a half ago was finally opened, and is a program that we think will help benefit a number of businesses throughout the province so that they can weather the storm and get through the current situation. And if it wasn't for organizations like ourselves and hearing directly from business members throughout Manitoba and Canada about the programs that they don't work, it makes it more difficult in terms of being able to provide valuable feedback. So some of the other programs, obviously, that are out there, whether it be the emergency response benefit, which provides $2,000 a month for people that have been laid off or out of work. Again, those are the kind of things that we've recommended, and we're continuing to have those discussions with government to make sure that the programs that they're putting in place are going to be able to match what are needed by businesses to get them through this current situation. And so that's really the importance that we really see of not only the local chambers, but the provincial chamber network, to be able to take that information, knowing that we're on calls on a regular basis with government officials and sharing that information with them in terms of whether or not we think the programs are going to be successful, whether or not they need to be tweaked, and what are some of the keys to that. So other programs that are more recent that we've been really working on is that, as we get into the recovery, it's making sure we've got clear communication between what government is outlining, what businesses need, and how we can really rebuild consumer confidence in Manitoba, because that's going to be absolutely critical to make sure that we can get back to some sense of normalcy. And so those are some of the things that we're working on. Other issues that we've heard as we get back into recovery are the challenges that a lot of small businesses are having with personal protection equipment, which is better known as PPE, in terms of what does it look like for business when they reopen? What are the measures that they need to take? And what are the things that they need to have in place so that they can do so in a manner that's going to be safe for both their employees and for consumers and their customers coming into their locations. So what we've heard is this is a bit of a challenge. So one of the things that the Chamber Network is working on right now is the development of a resource that can be used that will help to be almost like a one-stop shop for businesses that are looking for PPE, as well as companies that are out there that are providing PPE. So I think that's important as well, and that's something that's going to be rolled out as we continue to move forward. As we talk recovery as well, I think what's going to be critical from the perspective of organizations like ourselves is that it be done in a very staged manner. But there's a couple things that I'm really focused on in terms of where I want government to be looking at as we start talking recovery. And those three areas are, one is on economic competitiveness, knowing that are we making it easy for business to reopen? Are we doing so in a competitive framework as well? Or are we putting more impediments and challenges in front of business? I think now is the time that we are asking government to take any sort of measures that are going to make it easy for business to open, be very clear and concise with what they're looking to do. And I think that's going to be absolutely critical. The second area is really on economic development. And when I talk about economic development, I really talk about it from two sectors. One is the sector specifically and the various industries throughout Manitoba. What are we doing to support them? We know there are certain industries that are being more impacted, those in relation to hospitality and tourism, and as well as the service industry has been significantly impacted. We're going to need to make sure that we're providing resources for these industries so they can rebound. And I think that's going to be critical and a push for us on the government as well. Secondly is even from a regional standpoint, making sure that we're looking at supporting the various regions in Manitoba in terms of what's important. And I think one of the things that's become extremely apparent as a result of COVID-19 is the importance of digital infrastructure. And that's something that we as an organization are going to be hugely championing. We understand the challenges from a rural Manitoba perspective that digital infrastructure has played, and that this is a key investment that does need to be made moving forward as more businesses are looking at having to have a digital sense out there in terms of how they move forward. And a digital footprint is going to be absolutely critical for businesses to be able to move forward. So that's something that we're going to be looking at. And third is workforce. Knowing that as a result of COVID-19, business is not going to simply go back to normal. This is not going to be a restart. In my mind, this is a rebuild. And when you're looking at a rebuild, we need to make sure that we're putting in place the needs of business and they align with the workforce. And so making sure that we're making investments in post-secondary to be able to address some of those workforce needs going forward are going to be a critical factor as well. So those are some of the things that we're really going to be focusing on and making sure that we're advocating with government on behalf of the Chamber Network as well as businesses throughout the province that we see the importance of that. So that's going to be another very important aspect to what we do. So, I think maybe what I'll do is I'll quickly just conclude. Again, I don't think that the Chamber Network has ever been as important as it is today. I think it's important that business owners throughout Manitoba support their local chambers of commerce. They're doing tremendous work to make sure that your businesses have the ability to recover as best as possible, are sharing information, are steering businesses in the right direction, and are taking some of the advice that businesses is giving that we can advocate on your behalf. So, a huge congratulations to the Dauphin Chamber of Commerce and all the work that you're doing, and to keep up that great work as we continue to move forward, and we will be able to get through this together. So, again, thanks to all of the Dauphin Chamber members for your support, and I hope you had a great State of the City address today.
Cool. Thanks, Chuck. Really appreciate that. Thanks for the kind words there. Rebuild's an interesting term. That's because it's tough to go back to what things used to be, and we don't even know how this is going to last and where it's going to take us. So there is that concept that we have to keep in mind. What's the business going to look like, and what's the economy going to look like going forward after this? So, any perspective or thoughts onto how things kind of move forward, or where what things look like, a couple of months down the line if things go well for us?
Yeah, and that's what's important, right? And so the strong message that I've been giving to business throughout the province as well is that we recognize when this started that the importance was really focused on healthcare, and the economy came second. And I think now that we seem to have a good handle on the healthcare situation, that's important. But we can't get lazy with this, and which is why I strongly encourage the business community: make sure you're following the rules, make sure you're taking all those necessary precautions, because the damage that we've had to the provincial economy from the last 8 weeks, the last thing that we want to do is to have that second wave, and that's what a lot of people talk about, is what that second wave looks like. And so that's incumbent. And I think businesses have done a great job of making sure that if they're not ready to open, they're not opening. And that's what I strongly encourage. What's also just as important is that citizens do not get lackadaisical and stop following the rules, and whether it's in regards to social distancing and washing your hands. The public health officers have given us clear direction in terms of how we get back to whatever the new level of normalcy is going to be. So business is prepared to play its role. It's important that citizens as well. I know for a lot of people, it's extremely frustrating. It's been 8 weeks of this, but I think the more that we can do, we will get back to some level of normalcy. And again, why I don't necessarily like the term recovery is because recovery seems to think we're going to get back to what it used to be. And I don't think we're going to get back to what it used to be. And so what I'm strongly encouraging businesses to do is think about what that pivot for your own business looks like, and how you could potentially rebuild your business and what some of those opportunities are going to be. So the hope is that, hopefully we can get through this summer without having any sort of a significant, bounce back or second wave, and that we'll continue to take steps going in the right direction as long as we're continuing to follow the advice of what the healthcare professionals are saying. I think we will rebuild the economy, but we do need to make sure that we've got the supports from the various levels of government on those businesses that have been significantly impacted.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring up the the businesses versus the customer side of things. We had that discussion on Friday, I guess, in our meeting there, hearing from some other chambers that they're hearing from their members that, yeah, businesses are open and things are kind of working towards a new normal, but they're finding that the businesses are all set up with the proper PPEs or protective equipments and hand sanitizer stations, stuff like that. But they're finding that some of the customers are, still having those little meetings in the corner of the building and finding people, which is, you kind of want to have those chats, and you're out in the world seeing people again for maybe the first time in weeks, which is nice. But yeah, we have to keep in mind to be careful. I've also touched base with a few of the members here in town that saw, that first day being open, or first few days, and they were like super busy, busier than like on a regular, kind of holiday shopping sort of scenario. But they didn't really express any, people gathering or stuff like that. So things are working, I guess, okay out here. But regarding economic competitiveness, like, do you see that Manitoba, because we've had our cases somewhat low compared to other provinces, are we maybe in a better competitive stance compared to some other provinces?
Yeah, I think we are. I think, some of the things that have come through as a result of this, and some of the advantages that Manitoba has specifically is, we've got a very diversified economy as well. So when you're looking at, job losses and specific, the impact on sectors as well, it's not as negatively impacting Manitoba as others. And I think the fact that, we appear to have, knock on wood, would not have had as many cases as a lot of other provinces have had. I think that's a good sign. I think that we may have been able to get ahead of this more so than other provinces and put in place measures, whether it being, the quarantining and, shutting down of businesses and having more people, basically staying home and following the rules for the past 8 weeks is a good thing. And I think, if you look at the numbers now, it appears that we have sort of flattened that curve as they talk about. The fear, however, is that when you do have numbers like that, does the average citizen get too comfortable? And that's the concern, and that's part of what we heard, is that there's many communities throughout Manitoba that have had 0 cases. And so the impact, and so in those communities, they've had their businesses closed, they've had people laid off with 0 cases. There's some people that will look at it and think, well, why are we going through this? Like, let's just kind of get back to normal. And that's where I think we've heard the cases from chambers saying, you know what, people aren't necessarily following the rules as much as they need to anymore. And I think that's a little bit of the concern. And I think it's important that until public health officials tell us that, okay, you know what, here's the next step that we can take, that this is something that we need to slowly emerge from. The fear would be, you get that one case in your community and you see how quickly it can spread. That could have that could put us into that second wave where we're, again, closing businesses and everyone's back in their houses again.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, everyone's just got to, it's a tough one, but keep playing their part and being as safe as possible and doing their distance. And
yeah, I think what it's shown is the importance of people being able to work from home as well. And again, that goes back to the importance of making sure that we've got the digital infrastructure that's needed throughout Manitoba, so that it is more and more businesses do have that ability to do that, and it can, they can continue to operate their businesses even though they may not be in an office setting.
Yep. All right, cool. Thanks, Chuck. Last thing, I'll just give you a shout out. You guys got a survey that's probably coming out this week or maybe next week. So looking forward to that. And I wanted to highlight that a little bit for everyone watching too, that we're going to be sharing it, and watch out for Manitoba Chamber or any other chamber for that matter sharing that information, because you guys need that info, greatly, right? So, and you already had a survey out, and
yeah, exactly. So we'll
really well.
We had great response from the Chamber Network. We'll be doing one again, probably out next week, focusing a little bit more on recovery and just having a better understanding from businesses throughout the province in terms of what they're dealing with and some of the challenges, and providing us with good advice so that we can advocate on behalf of the business community in Manitoba.
Perfect. Cool. Thanks, Chuck. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, David. Today. Anytime.
All right. Let's go with... I don't know. There we go. See you, Chuck. Thanks for coming. Cool. That's it from us. I'm trying to work my mouse on 2 different screens here. Here we go. I'm going to get rid of Chuck. Put me back up there. Cool. Really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for coming out today and checking out our first ever virtual State of the City address. I hope it was good for you guys as it was for us. I'm so thankful that the internet didn't crash and everything worked well. And as you saw, Chuck's bandwidth was a little maxed out there. Glad he stuck around and was able to do that. But thanks to LPG for being, again, our sponsors today, and for Chuck for joining us, and for Mayor Dauphin and his team for putting together that presentation and being a part of our annual State of the City address. Please, if you can, fill out those polls, those little quick polls that we put at the beginning here, and let us know what's going on in your world. If there's anything that we can help out with, please let us know. Reach out to us any way you can, and we'll try to respond as best as possible. The probably best way to reach out to us is email office@dauphinchamber.ca. I'm working from home right now. The office is open, but there's nobody there for most of the time. So you can also leave a voicemail, and that I will check on every so often. So again, really appreciate it. Stay safe out there, guys. Do what you can. It might be tough, and now that it's warm outside and businesses are starting to open, we're seeing maybe a little bit more integration, but we got to take that at a snail's pace and get back to regular life, and hopefully, because Manitoba is doing so well, we can get there a little sooner and just get back to doing events like this, but doing it actually together and with other presentations, and a great meal like from Cafe Trocadero that should have been today, but oh well, another time we will get there. Okay, thanks guys, take care out there, and we'll see you on the 28th for our next chamber event. So if you need to be a part of that, let me know. Bye for now.